Greetings. Whatsoever you desire in this world, it will definitely harden into fact if you assume it and you pursue in the assumption that it is so. How does that really work? Well, there is a science of consciousness. There is an inner science of the sun. Do you realize that the sun parallels the human imagination and the human imagination parallels the sun? For without the sun, there is no life and there is no light. And without the human imagination, there isn't anything made that was made. That is why there's such a thing as a law of assumption. But that which you assume, it is you actually looking into the unseen to make it become the seen. In other words, you tapping into your invisible self because you believe in the invisible world, and from the invisible world you want to express the visible world. But you have to persist in it in terms of you believing that it is so, and you start acting as if it is so. And that is what is referred to as faith. For it is said that it is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. You see, when you understand that you are the perceiver and everything else on the outside is just the perception, then you would realize why it's important to understand and master the law of cause and effect. Because every effect or circumstances, you'd realize that you're not the creatures of your circumstances. Instead, you'd realize that the circumstances of life, they are the creatures of men. Men create them. Therefore, you create your reality, whether you do it consciously or unconsciously. That is the law of consciousness. And there is a law of liberty that can set you free. And that is why I'm pointing you to look inwardly and to believe in your invisible self and hold to the perception that that which you desire and you assume that it is already done. You see, there is only now. Many people refer to the past and the future. But for you to speak about the past, you have to speak about the past in the present. And for you to speak about the future, you have to speak about the future in the present. Because there is only now. Everything that's happening is just basically one cycle that is happening over and over and over and over again. Yet there are people in this world who believe there's such a thing as a Monday and a Tuesday and a Wednesday and a Thursday and a Friday and so on. No, it's just that one cycle that's happening over and over and over and over again. But you can bend reality to how you want it to be. Because, as I said before, you are the creator and everything else is the creation. So hold to your assumption and believe in your assumption. And then you will prove that God in man is definitely man's imagination. And you will prove that your words will never return unto you void. But you must accomplish that which you send it to and prosper anything where to you send it. Because you realize that thoughts become things. Everything is mental, everything is psychological, everything was first a thought and first an idea and first imagined. We are living in a mental world. Therefore, you must understand your physical self, you must understand your psychological self, and you must understand your true essence, your true self, which is your spiritual self. Therefore, live from the spiritual world through you being in touch with your psychological self to express everything in this physical world. So you are first spirit, and you have been expressed here as a thought evolved being, and now you're experiencing a physical three-dimensional world. Therefore, instead of you living from the third dimension, live from the fourth dimension. Instead of you living from the outside, trying to penetrate the inside, you live from the inside and penetrate the outside. Even your birth, everything starts from within and has been expressed on the outside. So why are you trying to live your life backwards? By looking at your situations and looking at the effects in your life and fail to realize that you're the cause. Everything is within. Everything that you desire in this world, it resides within you. Don't you realize that this entire world, this entire universe, it is within you? You realize that eternity itself is within you. If you haven't recognized that, then you need to read Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and verses 11. Everything is downloaded within you. You see, you're like a supercomputer. And when you look at a computer, and every aspect of a computer is the replica of the mind of a man. Therefore, my brother and my sisters, get in touch with your higher self, your true self, and hold true to the law of assumption that whatsoever you assume, though false, if you persist in it, it will definitely harden into fact. That is just law and order. In other words, I call it spiritual inner alchemy. Believe it by practicing it in your life, morning, noon, and night. And when you prove it, you will realize that results don't argue. So with that being said, my brother, my sisters, I can go on and on, but I'll come to a close. I want to thank you very much for listening to me. I want to say to you, if this is the very first time that you listen to me and what I'm saying, if it makes sense, if it really resonates with you, and you haven't subscribed already, I'm definitely encourage you to subscribe, to like, to comment, to share this video. Also, if you like to follow me on Instagram, I like to follow me on TikTok, you can definitely follow me at Black Mad Guru. And if you want to take my Inner Sun Science course, it's for people donating $20 or more on my Patreon. You can also become a part of my Patreon community. Also, you can support my books. And if you would like to have a one-on-one with me, or if you need some mentoring or coach, you like to be coached, you can reach out to me by way of email. But I want to say to you that all the links that you need, they are down below. I'll definitely encourage you to check out the links that are down below. And please follow your intuition. So with that being said, my brothers and my sisters, I just want to say peace, love you.